This episode brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Shifting a little money here, a little there, and hoping it all works out? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can get a better budgeter and potentially lower your insurance bill too. You tell Progressive what you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll help find you options within your budget. Try it today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
If your small business is booming, you might say,
Cha-ching!
But you should say,
like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And we'll help your growing business. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At Lowe's, before the holidays is the perfect time for upgrades and upkeep. During Black Friday, get up to 50% off select major appliances and buy more to save more with up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. Plus, grab select DeWalt 20-volt max drill or impact driver kits for just $99. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 12/3. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Now tuned into the greatest.
So when that bag come, I won't fumble. I'm just stacking on the low, but hey, I'm tired of being humble. Let me get to it. That motivation music. Get control of your life, don't let nobody else do it. Cause when I gon' have Metro S550s cruising. Feel like you winning on the ground.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. Now, I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you agree with, you disagree with, you like or you dislike, hit us up on a voicemail line, 219-413-9405. And of course, we will play your take back on our next episode. Now, speaking of episodes, shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Get $20 off of your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code TheRunPodcast. Now, this code can only be applied for first-time users on the mobile app or website. So I don't know about you, but it is that time for basketball season. So you need to use that promo code. Go to a basketball game, or even if you don't like basketball, go to a concert. Go anywhere you can think of that involves tickets and use that promo code from SeatGeek. Create that account and use that code, The Run Podcast. Now, on a more sad note, I guess, maybe not. It depends on the team that you're a fan of. The Falcons just lost to the New York Jets. And I've kind of become accustomed to this at this point. It's not even anything that's surprising to me. I don't think there's much that this Falcons team can do that will catch me off guard and shock me at this point. I've seen this type of tragedy from the Falcons for a long, long time. And now I'm kind of accustomed to it, especially after a certain point in the season. None of these games really matter to us anymore. At this point, Falcons are just playing for pride week after week. Clearly, we're not getting to the playoffs. I mean, we clearly don't want to get better. We haven't made any coaching changes and all of that stuff. So, at this point, it doesn't bother me as much. However, the one thing that does bother me is the fact that I got to talk about a bad team every single week. Now, that's where I struggle. And I'll get to the point here, but stay with me. I struggle because I don't like talking about bad teams. And for the fact of me staying to my word and sticking to what I immediately claimed of covering the Falcons and staying on the Falcons each week. Oh, man, this is the part that's killing me the most because, man, I do not like talking about bad teams. I much rather go talk about just anything else happening in the league. I would love to put together a different segment about something else, which we have later in the show. But, oh, my gosh, man, every week the Falcons doing this to me? Are you kidding me? All right, so just look, you'll have more outside of the Falcons. But first, let's start with this because the Falcons lost to the Jets 27-24. And this is just crazy. You lose to a 2-9 Jets team and can't catch a break. For the Falcons, honestly, though, there's not really much bright side for the season, but to give some statistics on where the Falcons are in their season, obviously most people know the Falcons D-line has been the promising aspect of this team. The defense for the Falcons have been pretty solid for the most part, but the Falcons are ranked they're ranked third in sacks in the NFL right now. Falcons have the third most sacks in the NFL. And the Falcons are on pace to break the franchise record of 55 sacks in a single season, which is dope. They currently have 41 sacks, so they would need at least 3 more sacks in each game for the rest of the football season, which is 5 weeks remaining, to break that record of 1997, which was set. And they had 55 sacks total. So it's pretty interesting. But right now, Falcons, they're struggling, man. They're struggling as a unit, but this defensive front has been promising. There's been small aspects on the defense that's been showing their tail and giving us something to be happy about. But Falcons, man, in this season, the course of the games kind of give you a heads up of where this season has been going. The Falcons have now lost 5 games by 3 or fewer points or in overtime so far this season. And another game that happened where they lost by 3 points against the New York Jets. Just crazy here that they somehow let this game slide out of their hands. But Bijan Robinson had a monstrous day, but it got spoiled by the Falcons. He had 142 rushing yards, averaged 6 yards per carry, had 5 catches for 51 yards, 193 total yards with the touchdown as well. And a lot of people want to put this game on Kirk Cousins. They're saying, oh, well, Kirk didn't play well. That's why the Falcons lost. Oh, he's just not going to get it done with the Falcons. And my thing here is I understand, I'm okay. I very much welcome any of the criticism for any aspect of this team, especially when you only won 5 of your last 6 games. Like, you deserve all the criticism in the world on both sides of the ball. But criticizing Kirk Cousins for losing against the New York Jets is not fair. Did you see what he was out there working with? Not only from the awful offensive play call. He had some terrible offensive sets that was called for him, but also he was giving no help on the offensive side. Had no Drake London. Ray McLeod is already released and gone. And then Kadero Hodge, who's your all-pro, wasn't even, he was available, but it was a healthy scratch for some reason that we don't know about. And then just multiple drop passes on game-winning drives and all throughout the game. So I look at this game and I see here, Kirk he gave the Falcons multiple chances to close the game and win the game, but just so happens drop passes, awful play call, blown coverages, just all these sort of things just cooked up and combined for the Falcons to lose. So it's unfair to put this loss all on Kirk Cousins. It's not fair, especially when I sit there and watch Kirk Cousins throw absolute darts to his receivers and they drop the ball on a game-winning drive. There was a game-winning drive, went 3 and out. The Falcons went 3 and out on a game-winning drive. There was 2 drop passes back-to-back. Seals was one of them and Darnell Mooney was one of them. How is this on Kirk Cousins? Please. I understand he made some bad throws earlier in the game and everything wasn't on point, but he ultimately helped get the offense downfield and gave us 24 points. So I can't even be mad at him in this sense. There was a lot of other factors that went into this of why the Falcons didn't win, and it wasn't on Kirk Cousins this time. And I will be the first to say it is on Kirk Cousins if that was the case. But 2 open drop passes on a game-winning drive, back-to-back, you were asking to lose. FBI needs to investigate this. FBI needs to investigate Seals and Darnell Mooney because wide open targets, man. This is not like Kirk threw it into coverage where it was just crazy amount of defenders next to him. He didn't throw it into double coverage. Hell, he didn't even throw it when there was a defender next to him. Seals literally dropped it right in open space. He was going to cut up and take it at least another 10 yards, but he dropped it. Darnell Mooney got scared, dropped it. Like it makes no sense, man. So I cannot blame Kirk Cousins for a situation that does not fall on him. Yes, I know quarterbacks are supposed to take the blame, but no, that one wasn't on Kirk Cousins for the reason that the offense didn't get downfield and win in overtime or get a chance to kick the field goal. Not on Kirk Cousins. And also for the defense, they played fairly solid at times, but this was not one of their best games. This was definitely not the case at all. Tyrod Taylor, man, had a vintage performance against the Falcons. He looked like college Tyrod Taylor. He looked like the Tyrod Taylor we all know about watching him in college, ACC champ, and like just he turned back the clock, and it was partially because the Falcons didn't adjust throughout the game in terms of realizing that, oh yeah, this quarterback can use his legs and score and pick up the first down. There was times I didn't see any QB spies. I didn't see any QB contains. We were still letting Tyrod Taylor do whatever he wanted to this Atlanta Falcons defense. So yes, I vouched for the defense for the Falcons all throughout the season. I said the defensive line has been great, which they were, but they struggled at multiple times during this game, and the defense failed to make adjustments. So that one definitely on Jeff Albridge right there. He got to make something happen out of that, man. You can't get killed by the same thing, or you can't get burned by the same thing all throughout the game when it's clear that there is one thing that needs to change. So I struggle with that part. And the defense, again, they were solid for the most part. And we have a comment about the Kirk thing. So yeah, going back to Kirk did play good enough for us to win. I couldn't agree more that he actually gave us a good shot. But some things on the defensive side, we struggled to get stops. Obviously, Jets had a game-winning drive. Special teams fumbled the ball big time, man, big time. And this is what is really mind-blowing here. So we talk about offense, did pretty solid. Defense struggled at times. But the killer here, and the thing that really hurt us here is the special teams. We had a dropped punt return on special teams. The guy went back out there multiple times every time the Jets punted. Gave up 6 points on special teams because we muffed the punt. We had an awful punt to kick it to the Jets for a potential game-stopping drive, and it was just not good, man. The special teams had a rough time, and the thing is, I struggle because the Falcons aren't making any changes at all within the coaching staff. Now, here's where some drama comes in because there's a lot of different things happening with this Falcons team behind the scenes, and we don't really know anything about it. So here's some rumors that I'll give you. And I'll try and speed it up just a little bit, but some rumors going on. The Falcons haven't fired any coaches after losing 6 of their last 7 games. No coaches have been fired. There was 5 straight L's in that entire span. But you can't sit here and tell me that the Falcons have a personnel issue when there's other teams that have way less talent on the offensive and defensive end, but yet they're thriving. Because the Patriots, a lot of these coaches, and I'll get there in a second. A lot of these coaches that teams have hired in the past 2 years since the Falcons hired Raheem Morris are thriving right now. Patriots, Mike Vrabel has his team 10-2. Yes, they have an easy schedule, but he's winning games. Bears, Ben Johnson has his team 9-3. Jaguars, Liam Cole has his team 8-4, which is going into playoffs. Seahawks, Mike McDonald has his team 9-3. The Chargers, Jim Harbaugh has his team 8-4. Panthers, Dave Canellis, he has his team 7-6, which is possibly going to the playoffs right now. And you can't sit here and tell me that the Falcons don't have more exciting players and better players from an individual standpoint than all these teams I just named. Because when I look at the star players on this team and the guys, the all-pro and all the guys they have at these certain positions and which team is healthy and which team is not, the Falcons are pretty balanced in terms of having some stardom, having some elite offensive talent, having some elite defensive talent, and to be able to compete and have a record that's better than 4-8. So I don't want to hear anything about, the Falcons, we don't have a quarterback. We don't have this we need receivers. Yes, they do need a lot of these things, and they need to be healthy, of course. But ultimately, there's no reason the Falcons should be 4-8 when we have other teams out here that's had 1 or 2 years with a new team, and they've completely turned around the culture wherever they're stationed. Falcons right now haven't turned around anything. Raheem Morris haven't turned around a damn thing right now. The press conferences are mad weird. He's always short about every single thing that he says. It's ridiculous what the Falcons are doing right now and continuously living in. It makes no sense at all. So I understand there's a lot of different things that the Falcons need to adjust in terms of adding personnel and adding this element to the offense, adding this element to the defense. But ultimately, it's not an excuse because the leadership up top is awful. Oh my gosh, it's awful. It's ridiculous. There was the press conference. So after the Jets game, there was a press conference that happened. It was a lot of questions being asked that fans want to hear. A lot of them was about just Kadero Hodge. Why didn't he play? Because he was a healthy scratch. Some of them were just about firing and Raheem Morris feeling like he's in a hot seat and if he has faith in Kirk Cousins. It was a lot of good questions, but the rumors that kind of came to mind that I seen post-game, and there are some things to confirm some of these rumors, not saying it's 100% true or not. However, one of the rumors circulating around with this Falcons team is that Raheem Morris lost the locker room. And this was mainly after it said that Raheem Morris lost the locker room mainly after Ray McCloud was released and Ike Hiller, the wide receiver coach, was fired. Now, this happened earlier in the season after that Panthers lost 30-0, but they needed somebody for a scapegoat, and it was Ike Hiller. This was a guy who's been there for some time. He's clearly doesn't have that much of a say if you're just the wide receiver coach. And ever since he's been gone, the Falcons wide receivers have struggled outside of Drake London. Now, Ray McCloud, it gets even better because Ray McCloud, who's a restricted free or who's a free agent right now, Ray McCloud posted or he retweeted a tweet that said Raheem Morris lost the locker room since he got rid of Hillary and Ray. Raheem or Ray McCloud retweeted that, and rumors say that the reason Ray McCloud was released was because he was one of the few guys to be vocal about Ike Hiller being fired and how bad of a decision it was. Again, don't know if it's 100% true, but these are just rumors that I'm seeing down rabbit holes and things that I'm picking up on simple retweets and likes from some of the guys who are on this staff. So, it's weird to me that now we're way down the line. We're way past that week where we got blown out by the Panthers. But yet it's still weird because Kadero Hodge, healthy, former Pro Bowler, healthy scratch, didn't play against this Jets team. When we were down Drake London, down Ray McCloud, who was a starter, two starting receivers were down. And let's not forget, Darnell Mooney was a starter, but he was down multiple times throughout the course of the season. But yet we still didn't play Kadero Hodge. Like something weird is happening with this Falcons team, and everything is a secret regarding the team, regarding the health of guys, regarding coaches being scapegoated. There's just no true, nothing genuine happening with this team. Like it's terrible, man. Everything behind the scenes is just it's wild right now, and honestly, with the way this Falcons organization is moving, being led by Raheem Morris right now, and even from those above too, there's some other guys in the mix right now, which I'm not going to get into, but the Falcons have absolutely no culture at its core, and it's getting more and more evident every single week, because I don't see any valid reason why Raheem Morris is still the head coach after this performance that he's done, because there's nothing that says the Falcons are getting better week after week after week. Every week for the past 2 seasons since Raheem Morris has been there, we've seen the same type of just awful offense. We've seen the same type of confusion when he's running the game and controlling the game. It's always the same exact thing. And when you look at the other examples of guys who have success elsewhere, Mike Vrabel with the Patriots, Ben Johnson with the Bears, Liam Cole with the Jaguars, Seahawks, Mike McDonald, Chargers, Jim Harbaugh, Panthers, Daniel Canellis. Like, all of these guys have finally began to figure it out after being there for at least 2 years. And you mean to tell me that Raheem Morris is still doing damn near a pretty good job, enough to keep his job? Are you kidding me? No, hell no. I'm just not going for it. And man, this Falcons team they've really ruined. They've ruined it, man. They've ruined it. At this point, I'm starting to believe the Atlanta Falcons gotta be some sort of cop out for the NFL to see how much an NFL fan can take and to really see how long fans can be a fan of a team. Like, at this point, I don't have any other idea of why this Falcons team isn't making any changes from the coaching staff, from above. Like, it makes no sense, man. And I know there's other teams that's out here that's bad. So yeah, of course, obviously I need to be grateful, but bro, this is rough. Maybe it's a couple of other teams. Maybe it's like the Falcons in there with the Browns, just bundled in with a couple of other teams that are just stuck in there with the Jets. So yeah, it's just a handful of teams. Raiders are possibly in there. Like, maybe that's the case. They're all just a part of some deal for the NFL to see how long and how much a fan can actually take of being a fan of that team. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. But look, man, we got some more stuff. So I know that one was a little bit longer, but we got some stuff. We got some news coming up. We're going to give you a recap of like where the playoff standings are in the NFL and what teams are looking for a playoff trip and what might happen, what will happen. So we'll see. We'll take a look into all of that stuff. So don't go anywhere. We got some more stuff coming up. Also, in just 2 minutes, I'm going to give you a breakdown of a couple other NFL teams that will tell a story about how they've been going. So we'll recap a couple of NFL teams just the past couple of weeks, because I know I took the week off for the holiday and all of that. So we'll jump into that in just a sec. Don't go anywhere. It is halftime.
Is anyone out there?
Another salesperson enduring the endless search. Exhausting. If you want to get right to the right conversations, you need LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Whether you're looking for new leads or strengthening existing relationships at your top accounts, get right to the right conversations with LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Try LinkedIn Sales Navigator now with a free 60-day trial at linkedin.com/trial. That's linkedin.com/trial.
Terms and conditions apply!
Hey guys, back at the playground again, huh?
Yep. You know what this playground could use? A wine country.
Heck yeah, and some waves, so we could go surfing. Oh,
yeah. Love that.
A redwood forest would be cool.
I'm in.
Ski slopes.
Let's do it.
Can a girl go shopping?
Yeah, baby.
Wait. Did we just invent California?
Discover why California is the ultimate playground at visitcalifornia.com.
With Venmo Stash, a toggle on one hand and ordering a ride in the other means you're stacking cash back. With Venmo Stash, get up to 5% cash back when you pick a bundle of your favorite brands. Earn more cash when you do more with Stash. Venmo Stash terms and exclusions apply. Max $100 cash back per month. See terms at venmo.me/stash terms.
Let's say your small business has a problem. Like maybe one of your doggy daycare customers had an accident. You might say something like,
"Doggone it.
Hi, Chihuahua."
Holy schnauzers.
But if you need someone who can actually help, just say,
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
and get help filing a claim from your local State Farm agent. For your small business insurance needs, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Marriott Bonvoy is the official hotel partner of US Soccer. Join Marriott Bonvoy today to get closer to the game with exclusive perks, unforgettable experiences, and benefits that go beyond the pitch. Spring Hill Suites, part of Marriott Bonvoy, offers complimentary hot breakfast and spacious all-suite accommodations, perfect for the whole team, with room for up to 6 guests. Make your next getaway a win. Learn more at springhillsuites.marriott.com.